Hello, this is Ken QC, and I've got in front of you here my Fuji xf1 film camera. Actually, it's not a film camera, it's a digital camera, but they use the word Fujifilm and it kind of throws you off. Anyway, I just want to show you some of the functionality of the camera. It's a pretty good camera. It takes both stills as well as video. It's got a 2/3 inch sensor made by Fuji. I think it's an Exmor processor. Anyway, it's a great processor. And what's unique about the Fuji, of course, is to turn on the camera, you extend the lens. It's the only way to turn on the camera. And to turn off the camera, you retract the lens. This has a pop-up flash. It has a mode dial on the top. And the mode choices are the PASM. You've got the program, shutter priority, aperture priority, manual, two different customs. You got some scene, some EXR, and advanced and video. And we also have a function button on top, shutter button, shutter release. There's for the flash. And we'll just turn on the screen here. Got a dial back here. So right now I've got an aperture priority. So as I move this, it adjusts the aperture. 1.8 all the way to 4.9 on the long end. It's got a nice little record button for movies, playback button, got a display back button, and an E function. E function sets different functions to the little rocker here. So here you've got your macro mode, your flash, you've got a timer, then you've got exposure compensation and delete. But here it gives you like how many frames a second if you want to do single shot or multiple shots. ISO adjustment, white balance. That's to get higher resolution. Then you've got a couple other buttons so all 5 of these buttons change when you hit the EF button. So I hit back, I go back to it. But I think it's pretty cool. It gives you some more functionality. So if I want to adjust the ISO, I click that. And you can see some nice ISO range. This is definitely a pretty good camera. Even at 3200 ISO, I think it does a great job taking pictures. Get rid of that. We'll go into probably 400, 800 would be good. Anyway, pretty nice functionality. White balance, of course, you've got your auto setting. And as you go through the different, you can see the change in color. I'm here at, it's nighttime and I'm using some very poor lighting in here. But you can see as I apply the different functionalities, I get different color schemes that may or may not be right. Now the auto is pretty good, but if I look at auto, and let me just put something here to focus on. That's my Winco water bottle. Let's take a look and see what happens. Ooh, that's not good. That's cut different. What would be the best? I saw one down here that looked really good. There we go. Because this is the light for incandescent light. And you can see here I hit OK. So that'll give me the best, and let's see how well this thing focuses. So I give it a little half press here. Pretty quick focus, so if I go here, then I go over here. Pretty fast focusing. Go over that way. Very fast, I think, for a camera that point and shoot, very high end. And you can see here I'm shooting in RAW as well as in the bigger JPEG mode. So it's pretty nice. If I push this button here, let's hit the playback. Watch this. If I hit playback and I push this button here, it actually zooms in. And then I can go through. Oh, look at all those fancy, man. There's a video I did. There's a picture at night. So if I can see here, so like here, not much was in focus here because again, this was a night shot from a distance. Not my best work, but I was trying to capture the color and I didn't do anything to these images yet. But if I hit the button again, it goes back to the normal image. The normal image looks good, but when I zoom in on it, you can see how poor that image was. And then you can see some stuff. And you can see here some of the color select functions. So here I obviously highlighted the red. Everything else showed a big black and white except for the red. Here I highlighted the yellow. But some pretty nice screen here. I'm really a big fan of the Fuji family. They just came out now with the, I guess it's the XQ2 or the QX2, and a QA2 or an basically an XQ2 and XA2. Basically, they're expanding their line, improving their line, but Amazon had this at a really good price when I bought it. This is a great camera, takes great photos. Anyway, hope you like this little video, this demonstration of this, and very quick to change the aperture. And then if I switch the mode, so to switch the mode, I would go here, go to, let's say, shutter priority. I can then change the shutter speed. And then you can see the maximum shutter speed of 1/2000th of a second. And you can see how dark that is, so obviously that wouldn't be the right answer. Then I can change the mode to program mode. And of course it gives a little detail what that is. So when I put in detailed mode, you can see that my aperture will be f1.8. And then my shutter speed about 1/20th or 1/58th of a second. Go to EXR. It's suitable for taking clear shots with minimal noise. And if I hit, let's see what it says here. If I want me to hit, what does it want me to hit here when I do that? Give me different information on the screen. But let's go back to here. What was that? Choices. My choices on that. Oh, I gotta hit menu here. So EXR mode, I can go with high ISO and low noise. I can have resolution priority, dynamic range. So I have a couple different choices. From auto, I can focus on resolution. So let's try that, see what that does. Then let's go like that. Let's hit the playback button. Wow, look how clear that is. Pretty good how I zoom that up, and it really, really is sharp. Auto, so basically it'll tell me, hey, based on what I see, these should be the settings. It's got advanced mode. Images taken twice are superimposed, so right now if I go here, I've got the option of multiple exposure, 3D, advanced filter, and there's a variety of different filters. So you can see here, dynamic tone, partial color, the different colors. So you can go red, green, orange, yellow, blue, purple, toy camera, miniature, pop color, high key, dynamic tone we already went through. Let's go back to the menu here. Panorama, Pro Focus, so pin sharp focus for subject with soft, so this will blur. Let's see how that works. Let's go back to here. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, it blurred that background pretty well. It blurred that background pretty well. You can see the pin sharp focus here. So it's a nice little feature. Nice little feature. Let's see what else we had on that menu though. Pro low light. So again, this is one of those things that, because my light's pretty bad, I can use that function. Multiple exposure. So pretty nice, different functionalities. That's the EXR choice, or the advanced. Here, natural light. Scene position, they call that. So natural light, portrait, portrait enhancer, landscape, sport, night shot, a tripod night shot, fireworks, sunset, snow, beach, underwater. Of course, if you do this underwater, make sure you have a waterproof case. Party, so for indoor lighting situation, flower would be more of a macro type thing to make the colors very pop on the flowers. Text, if you want to take pictures of texting or any kind of text. But this is nice though, the natural shot. 2 images without flash and with flash. Go back on that one. And the custom, you can set up your own. I've never really messed around with custom settings. I typically shoot an aperture priority, or if I'm trying to have fun, I try to use one of those creative filters or use one of the smart choices. You know, I like to play around. The key is, and one of the other guys on YouTube says, get out and take some photos. I think that's the bottom line. The key is to take as many photos as you can. because I'll tell you what, the more you take, the more you learn. But this is a really sharp camera, Fuji xf1. They don't make it anymore, but it's one of those cameras that I think is going to be legendary. When I hit the function button, you can see I've got auto 800, maximum 3200, etc., etc. So I can even shoot in different as high as 12,800. But when you do that, when you bring the ISO up that high, you can only shoot in the smaller resolution JPEG, 4,000, 5,000, 6,400, the medium format JPEG. So keep that in mind. But that's when you hit the function button. Anyway, hope you all had a fun time looking at this camera with me, and definitely I'm sure everybody's got enough shots of water bottles. Pretty nice with the flash. I'll tell you, the flash definitely does it. Look at how that brightened that bright up. Doesn't look bad, and that's the thing too. Fuji uses a smart flash technology, so they're very good at making the flash look pretty good. So they have a way of compensating in the camera when you take a picture. Anyway, let me just go back to here. Go back to the information. Go here. You can see you can have the different grid lines. Forced flash, flash fires in all shooting conditions. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Anyway, different shots, different choices for the... I like it when you have this because I'm a big fan of having things lined up. I don't want to have a level. I like to have this level. And it may not be perfect, but it's pretty darn close. Because especially when you're shooting something that's got kind of a landscape, if you're off like this, your picture's going to look weird. Unless you're trying to do a Dutch angle. Anyway, hopefully this video has been helpful, showed you some of the features on the camera. I know I'm not the most expert guy in the world, but I do have a lot of knowledge. But I'm sure there are many, many, many more people out there with a lot more knowledge than me. But I'm just trying to share what I know, and we can learn together, and hopefully everybody benefits from these videos. Thank you, and have an excellent day.